talk, a voice on the line I hear, coming through Geocache talk.
Embark on a breathtaking 12-night journey through Scandinavia with the Worldwide Cache Cruise, starting from the enchanting city of Amsterdam. With the Worldwide Cache Cruise, we are not just taking a vacation. We are geocaching and collecting experiences that will last a lifetime.
A stunning symbol of adventure, community, and storytelling. Its bold design shines with vibrant colors and a cool retro look. It's more than just a coin. It's a badge of geocaching passion. You can be part of the journey by supporting Geocache Talk on Patreon. Your patronage helps create inspiring shows, grow the community, and keep the adventure going. Join the network at patreon.com/geocachetalk.
Have you subscribed to FTF Magazine yet? FTF Magazine is the #1 geocaching magazine available. It is a quarterly magazine that you can be part of. Subscribing is easy. Just visit FTF's website, ftfgeo.com. Don't miss out and subscribe today.
Calling all geocachers. At artedcrafted.com, we create unique apparel designed by geocachers for geocachers. From custom t-shirts to personalized mugs, our gear lets you express your passion. Stand out at your next event with artedcrafted.com. artedcrafted.com. Gear up for your next geocaching adventure.
Big thanks to our new patrons, Gundark 2000, Nesmuk, LabGal13, Joe Bids. I saw him there at Geo Woodstock. Reese 46, Hada 25. Quick story about Hada 25. He does not watch the show. He listens, which is awesome. We have a lot of people who just listen, which is awesome. So shout out to all of our audio listeners. They all mean, and all of the patrons. Thanks to all our patrons for keeping this show and all of our other shows on the air. So I thought that was cool. Would you guys like that?
Oh yeah.
Just audio. So brought in my co-hosts, Memphis Mafia and the Pizza Ninja, but he's on the road. It's road pizza.
Road pizza.
Road pizza, Gary. Absolutely.
And it's cold pizza. What's the temperature where you're at?
Oh man, Gary, it's like in the 40s like up here. Like it actually like snowed like in the Adirondack area today, which was nuts on June 1st, believe it or not.
So what was it like when you crossed the border into Canada? Do they check passports still or what?
Oh, I'm not in Canada. I'm actually further away from Canada than my home coordinates, believe it or not.
That's crazy to say.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe it or not.
I don't know. Yeah. No, he's he's
so
conference mint.
Look at that. Where I am.
What?
81.
Look at that.
You're at, you say 40 something?
Oh yeah, man, look at that temp. Look at that temp.
That doesn't make any sense.
Here's what I got. I got this in beautiful
44. Hang on, let me bring that up.
No sense.
Yeah.
Surf is up, my friend.
I was literally on the beach like an hour ago.
What? Let's get the beach, Florida, Jesse.
Yeah.
That is nuts, man. I'm in the beautiful Adirondack Mountains, and
now I will give you that. Oh, 82 in Greenville. Look nice.
Yeah.
82.
I will give you the Adirondacks are very nice. However, that sounds a little cold. I don't know about that.
Well, it's where the Winter Olympics took place, and
that's right,
1932 and 1980, man, and all for a good reason, because of the nice Adirondack winter chill up here.
Winter chill. It's June.
I don't even know that my geocaching pin will right up there. I have to get some winter pins.
Oh my goodness!
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was cold. I don't know if when John told you, Jesse. I know we didn't get to see you last week, but it was cold and wet, man. We loved it. We loved West Virginia. It's beautiful.
Yeah. No, I'm very jealous. I saw many of the socials, the posts on social of the different socials that I saw everybody having fun. I didn't see anybody complaining, which is the awesome part. Like people were smiling. People had an ugly thing they were carrying around with a face on it a lot. People seem to be having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I need to pull up some of those. Let's pull up some of those pictures, John, because I love those. Those are really cool.
Yeah, if you got those, Gary, if you got those,
I do.
pull them up, man.
I will pull them up
because that was so cool to see how many people shared all their pictures. I mean, Jesse, like 100% truth. You were the most photographed person at
He
Geo
was.
Woodstock, like
Well,
hands down.
I'm very
hands
jealous.
down.
Flat Jesse has more gigas than I do.
Oh man, there's me with Mr. Data Wrangler on there.
Oh my gosh.
We
See, y'all are just gonna make me mad because all my friends were up there. I feel unfortunate for those people, but
gosh, that's incredible. Let's see if I can find some more. Here we go. Here's you with Action Trinity.
Trinity,
oh man, yeah.
And
she's not even on fire. Like usually she's on fire, so that's pretty good.
She is, isn't that funny? Oh gosh, she was. Trust me.
She's always on fire, but I mean, like literally on fire.
She was, yeah. She's been literally on fire before, but she was a firecracker like usual. So, there are more photos.
It totally looks like a shirt Jesse would be wearing. In my defense, I was left unsupervised.
That is so true.
Jesse.
So true.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh gosh.
Geocache.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a fairly new patron. Oh, not patron.
Lackey? Yeah, he's been a Lackey for a few years now, at least. I think.
Has he? Okay.
Yeah.
And then this one cracks. Yeah. This one cracks me up the most is the one with Jesse and Jesse.
Gosh.
Oh man, she was too hilarious when I'm like, does anybody want their picture taken with Jesse? And Jesse JT
she turned around, and was like, me?
You get me every time, she said, when you say Jesse and you mean Jesse.
Yeah, JT Coffee.
Yep.
That was a great event. Oh, Hodag.
That's so true. If Omega goes Giga and Jesse can't make it, is it really actually if Omega goes Giga and Jesse can make it, is it really a Giga? That would be more apropos.
Could you imagine if like they had that and then like just like Signal, who doesn't speak during these things, like looks out and sees like you in the audience is like, I'm sorry guys, I gotta take the Giga status away. This man is obviously here and we cannot have a Giga with him.
We're revoking it.
Yeah.
But well, just like y'all mentioned on the show last week, it's the next one is going to be right at the end of May again, which I understand. I talked to Ryan personally about it. I was like, dude, he goes, I know. He even called me. He goes, it's going to be, I think it's like the 23rd, which is my brother's birthday even.
Oh,
like, yeah. He's like, yeah. I'm like, I know. I get it. But us teachers suffer. There's no way.
It's pretty crazy when you have the organizer of a big event call you just to be like, hey man, let's talk about this Giga, you know?
He was like,
potential Giga.
Deal.
That's
but you don't have. I was like, I don't understand, and we always talk about this, but I don't understand. Ryan is one of those people. He's an awesome guy. Obviously, we all know him.
Absolutely, yeah.
But he keeps signing up for these things.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That, like, I don't understand the punishment that these people keep signing up for. Like him and D and like all these people that are like the super host is what you call them, right? Like super host.
Yeah.
Like,
it really is.
What are you thinking? Like, now I'm glad they do because it's awesome. But at the same time, like the punishment, like the three of us have been involved like peripherally, right? And every time one happens, we're like, I quit. Like, I don't want anything to do with this ever. Like, I'm gonna go Muncie now. It's so horrible. but like, how is checkers? Because that sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
And yes, Tom is one of them too, man. We're especially kind of stupid. You know, now we're extremely glad that they are. Obviously, the whole geocaching world is extremely glad. But at the same time, I would rather get back into chess than be involved and like have to be responsible for that. It's so insane what they do. And like, I wasn't there, and I watched the show. Obviously, I listened to the show last week, and it sounded awesome.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
but I had to like turn it off every once in a while because I was so jealous, and I turned it back on again.
Yes.
I was just so sad, but at the same time, it was. I mean, there's no way. From what y'all described, there's no way they put so much into these events now. Nobody can do all the stuff. There's no way. It's impossible.
There's
so much stuff going on, and y'all didn't even go over everything. There's so much stuff going on. It's just impossible now. Like it's become like a week-long family vacation event that's just impossible to do everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, right on. Because I mean, that's so many people I talked to. They're just like, there's no way we could have done everything at Woodstock.
No. No, there's so many caches. Well, here's the thing too. We talked about John and I were talking about before the show. There are so many good caches in Morgantown area that I would not be surprised if next year they put their own mega there. Obviously not a Geo Woodstock, but they put another mega there. I mean, and we didn't really get into the Morgantowners last week, did we, John? Because
no, but I think that's their plan. I think October 2026 they're going to have a mega there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And absolutely, I mean, like,
oh, we lost you there, John.
You're muted, man.
Oh, you got bumped. Check your audio, buddy. We lost you for a second. While he's checking audio, Ryan does. We talking about how much Ryan's doing. He did say he's not our lackey anymore. So,
okay.
Like that's really slow. Going to slow him down. But he's got Moga, he's got Geo Woodstock to work on now, and that's quite pretty insane.
And
so
Ryan's also a reviewer at the same time. Which, first of all, we've all talked about this before. There's no way you could not. They don't get paid anything, but. You could not pay me enough to be a reviewer. There's no way. That's a horrible job.
Yeah.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
No, you're
the hotel room, I just bumped something. I just got to ask Ryan on here, either yes or no. Is it like old school Mission Impossible show where Signal just shows up with a briefcase and slides it across the table to Ryan? Yeah. And it's like, will you accept this mission? Like, can you confirm that, Ryan? I'm just thinking like, that has to be how this stuff goes down,
Yeah, that's insane. It's insane.
Yeah, well, you won't see me doing it, but I'm glad they do.
Yeah. All right, let's talk a little bit. Let's do something similar to this. Okay, little news. John, you want to get started off?
Yeah, absolutely. So anybody who knows me knows I love treasures. And there's great news, guys. The new treasures are coming on June 10th. There's event mementos and planets that are coming out.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut about treasures.
Love treasures.
You know what I'm going to say.
Treasures is awesome at Geo Woodstock. And I'll tell you guys, I love Cachely, right? But I've been actually using the geocaching app a little bit more, the official app. So I can get that more tightly integrated treasures experience, and I've been loving it. So
hang on. I gotta pull the curtain back a little bit, and then John's gonna tell us about treasures. But John and I went round and round the whole week in Morgantown because I had come up with several treasures that I really want us to have in. But they're all fake and they're all not good. So, John, I'm going to give you back the venue, the podium, my friend, and you can tell people more about treasures. I'm sorry. I'll be quiet.
Yeah, no, it's all good, Gary. But I think a lot of people have been loving the treasures on here. So June 10th, and I know I got to look up to see what those are involved, but just knowing those are on the radar has me pretty excited because I know at Geo Woodstock, man, it was so much fun to get those treasures, to hear that sound, and to share that joy with everybody, including Gary on here. And Direwolf, can we trust a guy who likes pineapple and or pickles on his pizza? Absolutely, man. And what? Jesse, no way, man.
All right. Full confession time.
Yeah.
Full confession time. Two things. One, John knows, but nobody else does. I did go try pickle pizza.
Whoa.
Not pineapple pizza, because that's just stupid. But I did try pickle pizza, and the first time it was pretty good. So it was a food truck, and I say it was decent, but I had good company there. It was part of a geocaching related thing. So I may have been, kind of influenced by that. So I'm not going to give it an opinion yet.
I'm proud of you, Jesse. Just saying, I'm proud of you for trying it.
Not to derail us, but I'm kind of coming around on these treasures. So,
see, Gary, he's into it, man. I'm into it.
At first, when it was just find anything or breathe and you get a treasure, I was not that impressed. but they are starting to make them. Like, I've gone out geocaching since this, and I've been kind of pushing a little bit, because we got a milestone coming up, and we're trying to get ready for that. So I've been pushing a little bit, and I've done some hiking, Florida hiking, which that's a whole different story. But anyway,
the swamps.
And I still don't have all the treasures yet because it has to fit into a certain mold.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like the fact, like, if I could go through, just like, they do souvenir promotions and you accidentally get them all the time. I have not accidentally gotten these. So that is making me come around to go, oh, there's some value here. You're getting able to
absolutely
like target your geocaching style to these, because you can't accidentally get them because it's like above a 2 difficulty, below this so-and-so in terrain. And you got to find those, depending on where you are. That may be normal or not.
Yeah.
But I haven't automatically, like, accidentally gotten the souvenir or whatever it was, like summer solstice, wake up and you get it on this day. That's not fun to me. But these, where you actually have to do something or tailor it, I'm coming around. Now, I have a crap ton of ideas of what they could do with it. They haven't done yet, but I'm hoping they will. I keep texting Brian, but he doesn't answer me. Probably not the right number. I don't know. But I'm coming around. I'm with John. I'm starting to come around on the treasures. They're doing a good job. So
well said by the geocaching ninja. He got them all without trying, and that's what people are doing.
He's a ninja. That doesn't count.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking like Logan is like a superhero, man. The geocaching ninja.
Yeah,
like he can climb light poles. He can do all these things without trying, Gary.
Okay. Gary, let me ask you a question. Do you have all the treasures right now?
I don't know if I don't know, and I don't care.
What? No, you can find out. And
I don't know.
Going to the Giga.
I think I'm missing the catch-up packet.
Okay.
I think that's one of the treasures I'm missing.
No.
And I think I'm missing.
You went to a Giga.
The extra napkin. I'm looking for the napkin.
Yeah, but if you went to a Giga and still don't have all the treasures, that tells you right there it's a little something to do.
I don't look. Here's the thing, and I told John this when we were together this past week. Treasures are the extra napkin that they give you in the bottom of the to-go bag.
Okay.
Wow.
Audio listeners, you can hear my eyes roll at Gary's comment.
So please send your hate mail to geocachetalk@gmail.com.
Go ahead.
Or if you're on LilyPad, Gary's on there, and you can directly message him. And which I don't want to derail our show, but I am interested. We'll talk about it offline because I want to have a real show about it coming up. How LilyPad went over at the Giga. Y'all talked about it a little bit last week, but I want to dig into that again after people have gotten onto it, because I'm liking LilyPad.
Me too,
I saw the potential for it, and I really see it. I'm more excited about LilyPad than I am treasures. But
I'm just not okay. Yeah, because we got a whole show we got to do about.
Yeah, we got a whole show.
We got a whole show. Here's the funny part. The funny part about LilyPad. By the way, and we'll get into more of it later. But LilyPad worked out great.
Yes,
we gave away a bunch of coins. Oh, what would Tom say? We'll take a show. That's funny.
Tom, when that happens, it's going to become the Adventure Talk Network. Just saying.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
No, I maybe I'll come around someday, Jesse. You'll have to convince me, but I did come up with several.
I'm not recruiting yet. I'm just saying I'm not recruiting yet. I'm just saying I see potential.
Okay.
And I really do see potential in LilyPad, although I know there's some battery issues with it. Like,
oh yeah, it's
picking up your battery.
It is a beast.
Yeah, you mentioned that one, but I also see potential in the treasures.
Absolutely,
if they go the right way, right? Like, there's some real potential in them, but I'm not saying they're there yet. I'm just saying I see potential and it's going in the right direction. So,
and all I'm saying, guys, love them, and I'm excited. More coming out on June 10th.
Okay, so we have 3 different opinions on them, and I think as we do more, we'll get more. But
we'll talk more.
I mean, it's not legit until they have the Geocache Talk treasure anyway. So,
I hear you.
Yeah.
All right. So another quick thing, man. We got railroaded by stupid treasure talk. Okay.
Well, Gary, a lot of
that sounds like
excitement.
a good show.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. I mean, I heard
Oh
so many
my
good
gosh.
comments in the chat room on that.
It'll happen before Waymark talk will.
All right.
But let's move on.
Well, I don't know. I think waymarks are much better than treasures, but that's just.
Oh my gosh! Did anybody hear that? Did anybody
We'll get
just
into
hear
that later. We'll get into that.
That's
Trust
embarrassing for you. Let's move on.
Okay.
So in other news, guys, Cache Odyssey.
Go for it, buddy.
So Cache Odyssey, guys. I just got to put out a few things. One, June 1st, right? We know this. Going to the leaderboard right now, over 3,000 favorite points.
That's incredible.
3,000.
Incredible. 3,000.
Amazing. It just seems like it was a few weeks ago and we were like, hey, we're around 2,000, but 3,000. And I got to give a shout out because there's one cache that killed it in West Virginia, Cache Odyssey, West Virginia. So shout out to Troop Biz, Mark Webb.
Yes.
When I checked before the show, it's at 402 favorite points.
Oh my gosh.
402 favorites. Look how many times it's been found too. I'll pull it up real quick.
Didn't y'all just say last week it was at 246?
Well, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And before Woodstock, I want to say it was like under 100, man.
Wow.
Yeah, Cache Odyssey, West Virginia, right there. It is at what do we got here? It is currently at 1,127 finds.
Oh my gosh.
So cool.
And it's got favorite points. It's got
402. Click that.
Yeah.
Click that thing real quick. Let's see what the percentage is. 36.
Terrible.
I'm about to punch somebody in the face. How are y'all not? They better have just forgot because I know that one's awesome.
It is. Yeah.
It is really well done.
You know what? All joking aside, I am so proud that we got to be a part of this thing, right? Like Cache Odyssey is spreading a different message. It's more serious than we normally are. I am so happy. Every time I hear or see something on social media or whatever else where people are like happy to find it, I'm just that is so awesome. And it's not a bragging thing because our name isn't on it, right? Like it's awesome that people are enjoying it.
Oh, and it's fun too. John and I ran into several people, and I don't think they even knew necessarily that we were involved, but we ran into people at Cache Odyssey, West Virginia, and they're like, we love this. is incredible. We're going to, and then we would sort of share that, we're kind of involved, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. But it is amazing. It's amazing to see the number of people that are getting in that really want to, like, they're going after this like big time.
Yeah. That makes me so happy. To add, we just had this conversation before the show started.
Yeah.
And it's something we can have again and whatever else, another show. But like, there's only so many things. Like geocaching is varied, right? But there's only so many like top 10 things like states and Jasmer and Fizzy that you can really just go, I want to go for that. I'm planning trips to go for that. And it seems like based on people I've talked to, Cache Odyssey is kind of seeping into that. It's brand new still. I get it. But like it's seeping into that where people are like, that's on my list and I'm traveling to do it. And I'm like, that is so awesome.
Yeah. There's a portion of our Cache Odyssey hiders on the screen for audio listeners. But look at that. And that isn't the entire group, but look how many states. I mean, pretty much, there's dual people in that picture.
Yeah, but that's awesome.
But still, that's a lot of states that that all got to go to get. We all got to get together, and the presentation went incredible. It was just so much fun. John did incredible. John did the presentation. He did an incredible job. I was just up there for support. There's retired guy talking about his, and that was so much fun. Hearing from him and everybody. So such a great time. And that presentation went wonderful. Thank you to everybody who came and listened to it. It was great. How to Cache Odyssey treasure.
Gotta have a Cache Odyssey treasure.
Oh, Ryan, now you're talking, man. Since you got the in with the frog, man, maybe you can help us out with that, right?
That's right. He can hook us up.
Yeah.
I think so. Cache Odyssey treasure. That'd be cool. No, it was it was tremendous. It really was.
It was so much fun. And I mean, the energy in that room was awesome. And I mean, just incredible talking to all the hiders,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody, it's like it's like such, and I don't know, I don't want to say like life changing, but it kind of is, or like caching
Yeah.
changing for people. I mean, definitely a highlight for so many people being a part of that project. But I mean,
Yeah.
really, and I agree, Jesse, with what you said. It's like the hiders, man, are the people that deserve
Oh
almost all
gosh,
the
yeah.
credit in making this one happen.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
You
And
know, because
his
they just knocked it out of the park.
yeah,
Oh, they did. They killed it.
it gets to be addicting. Trust me, I'm up to 8, and finding ones are just so they're you find when you're like, man, where can I find another one? And just
I'm jealous. I
incredible.
hadn't even really started my journey yet, but I will. I
Yeah.
promise you. I'll catch up with you.
No, and because of this, because of the Giga, we had some incredible. I ran into, of all things, we were in Cache Odyssey, Ohio, and we ran into Rick Dorsey, who
Oh, that is awesome.
I mean, he lives in Rhode Island,
Yeah.
and then we're in Ohio, and Rick shows up, and we're yelling at him from inside the collectible store. Rick Dorsey. He's outside, and he's like, what in the world is going on? He can't see us. He can hear his voice. We can hear people yelling at him, and then he turned the corner and saw us, and it was just hysterical. But what a time. And the people, and we'll wrap up. We got other things to talk about, but the people that are part of hosting Cache Odysseys, these people are just unbelievally happy. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
That store in Ohio that Brian found, man, that is incredible. And I went in there and talked to them for actually quite a while. And the guy and the lady there were just like, oh, I can't tell you how wonderful it is to have you guys have that on the front porch, man. And it seemed like that way everybody went.
Yeah.
I got to do Cache Odyssey, Tennessee, and talk to some of the Rangers there. And oh my gosh, they were like, this is incredible, and
awesome.
yeah, it was just everywhere I went, we got to pretty much talk to everybody who is hosting a Cache Odyssey, and it's just tremendous. So
and I've been to events, and I kind of talked about it already, but
yeah,
I've been to events. I've been to several events down here in Florida, and because I'm not a hider, right? And I'm still meeting
part of the
people
team
down here and everything else, right?
Yeah,
so
you're part of the team.
I show up at an event and I hear people talking about it, and they'll tell me about it, and I'm loving it because I don't know them as well as anybody else, right? And they're telling me how excited they are, and I'm like, yeah, that's great. Tell me more about it. I'm just just beaming. I'm beaming inside. I'm just loving it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm like, yeah. And my favorite one was I had, and we talk to people all the time, right? At events and stuff. And I talked to one lady, and she said she had finished Cache Across America. Now, this was we're talking about a power cacher, right? Like,
sure,
cached all over the place. And she goes, I was really hoping something would come out for me to try next.
Oh, cool.
And she goes, and Cache Odyssey came out.
Oh, that's awesome.
And,
nice.
And it was, so at the same time as this lady said this, another lady who was in a wheelchair, she goes, I can't tell you how awesome this is for me. She goes, this is,
that is so
like,
cool.
Crap. I'm like, I got to leave. I'm going to cry. This is awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
This is ridiculous. This is,
and
awesome. It was I knew them, but they don't know that I'm associated, totally separately. So they weren't saying this to be nice to me. They were saying it just genuinely, just saying it for just their feelings of it. And I was like, oh my God, that was awesome. That is so awesome that people are that we're bringing, all these hiders got together, and it was just an idea until the hiders stepped up, right? That people are getting joy out of this, right? Just like finding all the states or, the oldest in each state, they've got a new thing that sparks their imagination, and it's awesome. So I just anyway, I don't want to. We don't take all night on this. We got a whole show to do. So
no, you're good.
Right on. And I just, to tie it off, just want to give a shout out to the 4 cachers that have 30 or more Cache Odyssey finds out there. Because really just incredible. Just
insane, first of all.
Yeah. Poan up there, Little Black Dog, Unimogers, and then Scouting Skater on there one. Just
how many?
Congrats for getting 30 or more. Yeah,
dang, that's a lot.
Yeah, go to the leaderboard, but 30 or more. Since December 29th on that one.
I love that spirit. That is so awesome. Like, I know grown people, non-geocachers. I know grown people that have not been to 30 states in their whole life.
Right.
These people have done it this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That is so
cool.
crazy.
And we have several that have 20. I mean, we can't really time to mention, but we've got what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 other people, Jesse, that have 20. They have 20 states.
That's just the spirit of adventure that I love about geocaching. And we're going to talk about geocaching in a second, actually, in our real show.
We are.
But that is part of that
states.
spirit that I love about geocaching.
Yeah, incredible. All right. Let's get into tonight's topic. I love it. John and I
we have
talked.
a topic for tonight?
We do have a topic. What's funny is that when you brought this up a while back, wasn't that long ago, John, but you brought this up a couple weeks ago, I think, at least.
Yeah. So the idea behind tonight's show is, and it coming back to Cache Odyssey, when Doug McRae came up to Cache Odyssey, New York.
Yeah.
We were having pickle pizza afterwards to celebrate the occasion. And there was a muggle there, and the muggle, after hearing us talking and stuff, turns to Doug and he says, well, geocaching is a game, right? And it's like, yeah. And it's like, well, how do you win at geocaching?
Yeah.
And we thought that was just like such a powerful comment, because if you're a newer cacher, with the game, how do you win at geocaching? But I mean, it's a great question for all of us on that one, because I mean, how would you guys answer that to a muggle or a newer cacher saying, how do you win at geocaching?
What's funny too about this is I did not read Jesse's, and of course, we're gonna each give our answers, but I think you're gonna hear some themes going through the three of us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It is very different, and I know we'll get into the minutia of some of the ways to win, but I'll be honest with you, my number one way that I win is people. And for me, it's a combination of two things. One is I've always mentioned about the Motley Caching crew, the guys that I cache with, local. We've got a trip coming up together, and we try to do a trip every year together. I know, Jesse, you and Barry, have your trip. Ours is kind of similar in the fact that not that like that, but still, just that we take the time, that all of us that are still here, we've lost a couple members of Motley Caching crew, but we usually we'll do several times where we'll cache for the day, but we've now started a few years ago to get away for the weekend together and go do something, and go either barbecue run plus caching. It's always plus caching, obviously, but
yeah.
So that's sort of one aspect of it. And then the other aspect for me of the friendship side of things was this past week. And so it was just a joy to see people and talk to people that I've either known for a long time, or maybe for some not. I'll give you two examples, and I'll let you guys talk. But running into as far as sort of new friends, I joke because John will know what I'm talking about. We at some point called him Sharknado. He's from Hawaii.
Got nothing but love for him. Nothing but love, man.
Nothing but love.
Such a cool guy.
Yeah, loved. He knows about, listens to the show sometime, hopefully or watching the show. And but yeah, Sharknado. He's what's it? You do better with his actual.
It's Dolphinando. Right?
Yeah, Dolphinando. But he's in Hawaii. But somebody like that's sort of a newer friend versus my other quick story is that we were going. It was raining like crazy. We were going up to Cooper's Rock, and I'm trying to walk, best I can out, with my umbrella, trying to get out to that thing. And I look over, and there's a guy who's like hunkered down. He's got his jacket over his head, and he's trying to make his way, because they had been there. We kind of came a little bit later. People are trying to leave. And so I kind of looked over. I go, I think I know that person. And because he was covered up, And then he looks at me, he goes, Gary, and it's Josh. So I ran into Joshua on the middle of the rain, and we're hugging, and it looks like we're like, we haven't seen each other in forever, but I mean, it just was one of those kind of crazy things. And then he keeps on going, not just few people behind him. I run into Burks. So so Scott Burks and I haven't seen each other in a long time. It's like, and he's like, Gary. So we had a big hug, and because I haven't seen him forever. It's like, oh my God, like you said, tears are coming. It's like, I haven't seen these people in so long. Yeah. And then right behind him was Craig. Now I saw Craig in Alabama. So but still saw him, and then ran into Daniel Truckamiller to truck. And it was just one person after another. And it was just like the euphoria of running into your friends that you don't get to see, for at least a year. I haven't, been able to, or some people, like, I don't think the truck, we had the truck on the show a couple of times, but, I don't think I ever, being face to face with, and be able to talk to him, people like Nels, he's in the chat room, ran into him, and Tony, Tony got to see him and talk to him in person for a while. So, those kind of things just mean the world to me. So, what are some things for you guys that you win?
I'll piggyback off of yours, and I'll take a spin off of it, because this kind of happened this week. So, as you mentioned and alluded to, like the people that you meet through geocaching, most of my friends, like 98% of them are geocachers, right? Like, it's not because I only hang out with geocachers. For me, I'll take the different spin, right? Like Barry and I and some other buddies of mine, but like it's Barry and I every single year. But we have some other people that come and go every year.
Yeah.
We go on a geocaching trip every year. And this year, because like you mentioned, Scott, we're going to go and we're going to see Scott, and we're going to go to the ET Power Trail in November.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's awesome. That's going to be so much fun. It's a once in a lifetime, like once in a geocaching lifetime thing. We're going to go do it. Yeah. And every year we pick like a week and we go geocaching. But I want to but that's kind of obvious, and we talked about that a lot. I want to talk about the other side of it. So there's a reason that 98% of my friends are geocachers. It's because I introduce everybody I know into geocaching. Yeah. Now, it doesn't stick for everybody, but it sticks for most, right? And most of the people that I hang out with are adventurous type people. They like to travel. They like to do fun stuff. So I wouldn't probably be friends with them if they didn't have that kind of spirit anyway.
Sure.
So over the years, those are the ones that kind of hang around as friends, is the ones that want to like get out and do fun stuff. So I think it's kind of a weird take, but I'm going to say winning at geocaching is bringing people into the fold and just seeing them. Like, we've all introduced people to geocaching, right? And I finding people that are into it and seeing them go, oh, this is neat. And then you see them get into it, and then they'll text you and they'll be like, oh, did you know this and this? Or what about this and this? And you're like, yeah, that's awesome. And guess what? There's tons more to it too. You hadn't even found out yet. And they give you, watching people kind of grow up through the game of geocaching has always been awesome. So now I'm going to take a little bit more of a twist. And this just happened this week as we were talking about the show. Yeah. So I'm going to give context, I'm going to share a picture. See if this will work.
Yeah.
So
sounds good.
This is the second picture. Can y'all see that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this is the second picture that I posted on my geocaching account.
Look how young they look.
So that's Miley and Hallie.
Yes.
Miley, I was at her college orientation this week.
I know, it blows me away.
She's wearing a little princess tiara. She's tiny there. The other daughter is currently in law school, and she's grown. She's married. Her husband's in the Air Force. Like, she is grown now. Like, that's all during the time of geocaching. So over the years, they've grown up in geocaching, right?
Yeah.
Like, Miley still lives here, but she's moving out. So she does geocaching. She goes to her own event and stuff. They found caches. They generally only log in their own account when it's a new state or a new country.
Makes sense.
They log into the family account. So recently, this week, my oldest daughter, who kind of geocaches with us, and we go on vacation and everything else. Like, it's a family thing. All generations of my family geocache.
Yeah.
But she started getting back into geocaching, and she introduced it to her husband, who was Air Force and flies all over the world. So he's going to feed us all, right? Like, Like,
That's
where are you
awesome.
this week? Oh, I'm in Abu Dhabi. I'm in Baghdad. I mean, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. He's
So
killing it.
she texted me and she goes, I introduced him to it. He loves it. And then that was awesome already. You're like, Dad, Dad smiles. It's awesome. But then she texted back and she goes, he is obsessed already. They found 7 that day. He goes, he wants to know about this. And she goes, what was my geocaching account name? I don't remember the password anymore. So she got back into it.
Oh, wow.
2013. Nice. So she got like the old school account, right?
Right.
And she even technically still has, that I've been monitoring for years, she has her own cache that's kind of grandfathered into a location that you can't hide anymore in Colorado.
Right.
And it's like a legit hike over mountains, really hard cache, right? To get to.
That is awesome.
There's only been like 7, like one person a year finds this cache, right? Like it's legit. And her and I went and hit it together. But she's getting into it and she's like, each time a question comes back, she's like, what are the rules on this? And I would send her information. She goes, can we do this? And I'm like, yeah, send her information. And then she goes, we want to hide one. And this is all within like one day, right? She's like, how do we do that? And I'm like, she's like, her husband, she's like, he wants to now know how do we hide one. How do we do this? Can we do this? And I'm like, here's the information on that. To me, that's obviously it's closer to home than other ones do, right? But
sure,
to me, that is winning. I just shared the joy that my family has had with they're building a whole new family. And it's so awesome to see just the excitement because we all went through the same exact thing, right? You get into it, then you're like, oh, there's more in the neighborhood. Oh, we can hide them. Oh, we can do puzzles about this or that.
Oh, no, that's awesome.
And it's just,
incredible.
To me, that's one of the aspects of winning is bringing more people into the game and watching them and their families go, this is awesome. I can play this and this is this. And you can almost predict, right? They're like, oh, wait, can we do this next? And you know what the next question is coming. Like,
oh, sure.
This. And it's so awesome for that you're just like, I was smiling so hard that day. It was awesome. Now,
that is so
here's
cool.
the cherry on the cake. So,
yep.
This doesn't happen all the time, but it happened because it's my daughter or whatever. So she's in law school right now. She's about to graduate in December. She's going to school for special education law. So she goes, cool. and I knew it was coming, but I know how her brain works, and she's a super smart kid, everything else. So she calls back and she goes, can we do this and make this accessible for other people? And I'm like,
oh, nice.
Just so happens we launched this whole thing. So she was like, oh my God, that's awesome. I love that. She goes, how can we do this for sensory issues? I'm like, well, come up with some ideas and we'll find some people.
Yeah,
so her brain was just firing and firing. She's like, how can we make this accessible to other people?
That's incredible.
Like the pride that I had, that's winning to me. Like, you spread it to somebody and they're going to add something new to the game. Holy crap, that's awesome. Right? I was so happy about this. And not just because it's my daughter, but you introduce somebody that's going to do something and continue like the stuff that we want to do and spread. I mean, how do you beat that? You can't beat that. So
no,
not even talking about numbers or challenges, which obviously I love all that crap. And we're going to get into that stuff, right? But that pride and that just joy of finding somebody else just really excited about it. Awesome. I was so happy that happened this week. I was like, hey, we have a show about this. Like, it's awesome. This is perfect research for the show. But
incredible.
So that's kind of my twist on what you were saying. Like,
that
you make is awesome. But also the people and the new people you're bringing to the game, just it makes you so happy. Not everybody's going to love it, or going to be insane about it. But they now know that this thing exists and their family and friends can do this. And this hopefully forever will be something that they can do.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
I've got one other one, but I'm good. John, you need to go. You need to tell us your
oh man, you guys just gave such incredible examples on there, especially Jesse.
Go for it.
But yeah, I gotta give a shout out to the community because it's just, reflecting upon what we're talking about, like Cache Odyssey and those hiders. I mean, just from taking stuff to an idea to such a passionate and creative amount of people to make an awesome idea happen. It to me, the community and the friendships just blow me away through geocaching. And I know it's funny, I was visiting with my mother earlier and telling her about Geo Woodstock and everything else, and and she just goes, what other type of like hobby or sport has like such an incredible community like this? She goes, I've never heard of anything like this. And I was telling her too, I mean, like Rick Dorsey's comment where Rick was saying, in different places he was stationed, one of the first things that he did was, to connect with people, make friendships, was going to geocaching events.
Yeah.
And to me, I mean, like that's one of those things, like I think for people, like if you're a new geocacher, start going events, start talking to people, because like the friendships that you'll make, the community that you'll have along the way, incredible, and I know, Gary, like, when we were at Geo Woodstock, I mean, my favorite highlight was catching up with people,
Yeah.
that was my top highlight of that, and it's almost like funny because you're going there for geocaching, but my top highlight is just catching up with so many different people on there. And,
we ran into so many people. It was incredible.
And I mean, just so many new people too,
that's true.
That it made my day. Like when I'm walking like because I drop Gary like off at the door, and then I park the car, and I'm like walking through the parking lot. I'm just seeing like people roll their windows down, and they're like, "Pizza Ninja," and I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm just like catching up with like a ton of people like on there, but that made my day.
Event, John, Jesse, we're walking through the event, and out of nowhere, you'll hear these group of people yelling, "Pickle pizza!"
I love it.
And then people showing me their phones and being like, "Oh, check out the slice I had like right here. It was so good."
So many people just walked up out of the blue,
loved
and
it,
just
man.
like pushed me to the side. They're like, "Get out of my way! I need to talk to the pickle man here." So,
oh man, Cash Addict Mel, and yeah. One of her highlights, man, that was one of my highlights, was having a piece of pizza or sharing pizza with Cash Addict Mel. That was like so awesome to do that.
Yeah. Well, and it was great. We had our patron event. We of course didn't advertise that publicly, but we had a great patron event at Pies and Pints, and we did not plan correctly. We had about 50 people, and we had we told Pies and Pints we're going to have about 30. So we filled the outside. I felt so bad, me. But because I didn't really get to go inside, and Tom was holding down the fort for Geocache Talk inside. We had the whole outside. The whole outside was ours.
That's awesome.
And so people were doing, and what's crazy, Jesse, you would have thought this was funny, but this gives you an idea of winning. So people were ordering pizzas, and normally they're like 8 slices, and they would tell they told the wait staff. We had 2 great wait staff, Ty and Dallas. What great names!
Yep.
And they were cutting them into 16 slices, and people are just walking around like, here comes retired guy of all people. I mean, the guy's been around the world, literally. We know that, and he's coming over to us. He's going, here's one of my pieces of pizza, and what have you got? And so he's walking around.
Y'all talking about that. It's awesome.
Yeah, the pizza exchange was amazing, man.
Yeah,
loved it.
I was happy, but also jealous when I heard this. I heard y'all talking about it. Obviously, I went on the show last week. I heard y'all talking about that. I was like, it's great, but also I'm gonna BS. I'm gonna say that.
I know.
I was so mad. I was like, that is awesome. I missed out on, like, that would just be as exciting as going to the gig of itself.
Man,
that is so cool.
Well, I'm glad we were able to give that shout out video to you, Jesse, of the Cache Odyssey presentation, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love that. That was very it was awesome. I was humbled for sure.
Oh yeah, but that's a shout out to Ryan too. So I don't know if Ryan's still on, but Ryan, if you're still on tonight, thank you so much he made 2 of those flat Jessies, and oh my gosh, people were just
he sent me a message letting me know he was doing it. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
People were coming up. People I didn't even know, they're coming up going, can I get a picture with flat Jessies? Like, sure you can. Come on. I mean, I've got and I'll keep them, and I'll put some more out. We'll put them, John, into a montage, because I got more emails this week. I got about like 20 emails from people who are like, "Here's my Flat Jesse photos." It's like, okay, well, thanks for sending them.
Oh man, and keep on sending those. So if you got a Flat
absolutely.
Jesse
Keep sending them.
picture or video, send them to geocachetalk@gmail.com.
But you know what?
Love
That
to
just
see 'em.
it's kind of fun and silly and everything else, but it also shows like it's just a big family, right?
Yep.
Like just a big family. It's all jokes and fun and everything else, but it is really just a big family. Like whether we cross paths this year or next event, like we can't wait to cross paths again. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Exactly what Mel just said, which Mel's another good example. We crossed paths on the East Coast in South Carolina, and we drove to North Carolina to get that state during one of the well, she didn't know it at the time, but I was also hiding our the promotion we had at the time with the clues. And we went out caching. We jumped in the car. She was a little shy about challenges. We didn't know each other for anything other than like over the internet. We just jumped in the car together and went caching.
Yeah.
What hobby does that happen? That was
nowhere.
That doesn't happen, right? Like you just find cool people and hang out with them, and that you hadn't even known in person before. And that's just a perfect example of the game. It's so awesome.
Oh, it is. I mean, in I got to hang out with Mel some and just sit down with her and talk. It means so much to me. And what was cool was that I was walking around. I had a big old bag of buttons, and I would get stopped because people would go like, listen to the show or whatever. And so I'd sit down but I'd sort of stop and I would start handing buttons out. And John and I had, this shows you the amazing power of a podcast, and this happens, I'm sure, to some of the other shows as well, but we're just standing there and people are like walking, going, why is this group of people standing around these people? We'd be like, we're handing out buttons and we're laughing, we're talking to people. And it was just like, I know I got some crazy looks of people who are like, what is this guy's deal?
Well, and I love with the audio listeners, man, because there was like a few, like when we went to the geocaching sign at the end where they were audio listeners, and
that's right. You ran to them. That was funny. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and I was just talking, and you just saw their eyes kind of like look like we recognize that voice.
I know that voice.
Yeah.
It was great. Okay, well, I've got one more, and I want you guys to comment because I think Jesse, we got similar other goals. The one that I want to mention that sort of it ties in to people, and then the other one I want to talk about too, because some people have mentioned things in there, but the other one I think ties in is, of course, memories, times, and that's the key we've talked about before. Is yes, you can go caching by yourself. Yes, that's all possible. A lot of people do. That's fine. But there's something to me that's very special about caching with other people, and there's something to all the different times that Jesse lived in Colorado and now in Florida, but I still think back on the different times that Jesse and I have gone caching together. Going to when you came down and we ran all around DFW and you were signing all those 5.5s. Climbing tree and all that was a hoot. And then the time we got to go to Kansas when we were getting ready to put the plaque out, and thanks Ryan for getting the plaque all done. So cool. But we ran around with Charles and Laura, and we ran up all the way to we actually drove all the way up into Nebraska, got a Nebraska cache, came back. But what was funny and we got Rickery and we did all these other caches together. And that was like right at the pandemic, but we made it work. But and we got the plaque put up, and those, that's just one example of so many. But those to me, that is winning. That is really winning at geocaching. The fact that
100%.
Oh yeah, and then real quick, my last one, and then I'll turn over to y'all, is John and I and Jody going to the rest area of all places, and we're sitting there doing Adventure Labs. Don't tell anybody, but we were Adventure Labs.
Future geocaching. Go ahead.
600 Adventure Labs that day.
Wow, that's insane.
It's awesome.
Hundreds, yeah.
Hundreds. And
Which,
John
by the way,
had the idea.
Your biggest stat for one day ever. It's got to be.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, by far.
No question.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but John had the genius idea. He turns to me and he goes, "Hey, turn your sound way up." I was like, "Okay, I guess. What's the point?" And we were just like, "Fling, fling." The thing was going off like
crazy. I love it.
We cranked them up all the way, man, just to be able to soak that full experience in. Yeah.
And I did, and every time I'd finish one, which I'm sure John was sick and tired of me turning to him, and I go, "John," he goes, "What?" I go, "I finished another one." He's like, "Yes, I know." So fun. Oh, it was such a hoot. We even had Jody cracking up, which, she's kind of quiet. She's great, but that was cracking me up.
No, I agree 100%. And there's many people in the chat room, including both of you guys, but many people in the chat room that I have been able to meet and cache with in person. And
I love souvenirs, just not.
You cannot beat that experience, right? Like we've met online, or we do this all the time online. But and John, I got to go cache up in New York, which
it was awesome.
He tricked me. I thought it was Canada. It was New York.
Yes.
Same week. I was in Canada, New York that same day. In fact, so I don't know which one was which. But
you tricked him because I think it was like 1 a.m. He had to go out there to see you guys.
Yeah, it was. Jesse goes. He goes, "Okay, I'm going to be here."
Great.
He goes, "Let's do the spot." He goes, "At latest, I want to be there at 7 a.m. To hit the trail." So Jody and I left. This is absolutely true. We woke up 3 o'clock in the morning, hit the road to meet him and Barry there. And when we pull up, we see this like this car that looks like maybe it could be abandoned at the trailhead. And I'm like, okay, I don't know. This could be a bad situation. Jody, stay in the car. Let me get out and take a look and see if there's anything wrong here. And I peer in, and it's 2 guys who have nodded off at the trailhead. In fact,
that's hysterical.
Which I give Jesse mad props, man, because that is like true geocaching friendship. For somebody to wait at a state's oldest trailhead for you for the next
him and
day.
Barry.
Oh yeah.
Barry's great, and you do. You have a great friend in Barry. And,
he's awesome. There's no doubt about it.
I got to hang out with Barry a little bit in Oklahoma and play Cache Masters, and Barry's a hoot. He's so great.
No, yeah, he's great.
Yeah,
and we didn't just nod off. We were sleeping from the night before, to be honest.
We were conked out.
No, we were zonked out, right? And now we may have been kind of awake by the time he got there, but like we'd had maybe 4 hours of sleep by the time John got there. We did not get much sleep that week, but again, that was one of those weeks, right? Like, where else? Like, that's an insane thing if you think about it. Like,
yes.
I've gone my whole life, and I've been in sports and martial arts and all kinds of athletics and stuff. Nobody in any of those other things is meeting me at a trailhead at like 7 a.m. in like a random location, right? To get a random metal box in the woods, right? Yep. Like, but geocachers are like, yeah, that sounds normal. Let's do that. Right. I'll bring my wife out there. That sounds normal.
Yes.
But it was awesome. Like, how do you beat that? Like, like the memories there, you can't beat that. And John and I have been lucky enough to go caching. Gary and I have gone caching. I've gone caching with several people, and Cache Addict Mills kind of talking about it So on that trip that I mentioned earlier, I got eat up with chiggers. So like I had bites all over my whole body, and I knew better than going to the woods to get these caches.
Yeah, the CFO is telling stories on you. Go ahead.
I call them souvenirs, or maybe let's call them treasures. I still have treasures.
Yeah, okay. Chiggers, that sounds like a treasure.
Right? Like,
yeah,
it happens, But I mean,
there you go.
How do you beat that? And I know we're going to get into it before we're done, but all of the challenges and accomplishments that you get, they don't touch what we're talking about right now, like the memories and the fun and stuff like that. And I do want to get into the challenges and accomplishments because I'm an extremely competitive person. Everybody that's cached with me or
you love them.
Ridden in a Mitsubishi Mirage with me, John has flashbacks. You know how competitive I get when I just do anything. However, that doesn't touch the memories of caching with friends and everything else, right? And the friends you make, it doesn't touch it. But it's also part of it. Like we love to challenge ourselves too, right? So,
absolutely.
Yeah, memories. I second that. The memories are where it's at. The friends you've cached with, that's what you're going to remember, right? Like, and I've said this many times. Like, I've got the tattoo, a geocaching tattoo on my leg, right? And people are like, "What if you stop geocaching?" Okay, for 15 years, that's memories. Essentially, I don't care if geocaching ceases to exist tomorrow.
Yes,
I have 15 years of memories with a bunch of people, and I have that I'm part of that game. So I would never regret that tattoo or any of the time I've spent traveling the country or the world doing those things and meeting those people. So that you can't take that away.
No. And I think too, as we sort of transition into some other items, one of the things that I really want to, because I know people are going to look at this a little bit differently, and that is the point. I think that's the point that the three of us want to make, and that is, if you're not interested in the random, or the specific challenge that somebody else is interested in, keep looking. You might find one that if your friends or you've heard people say, I want to find another fizzy loop. That's fine. You let them do their thing.
Yes.
But there's so many ways for you to find your thing.
Yes.
For example, I was open to the suggestions, and Jesse was like, "Hey, you need to work on," or he said, and you didn't say this the bad way, but I'm like, "Hey, you might be interested in doing Jasmer and getting really Jasmer." I was like, I don't know where I'm at on Jasmer, and he's like, "You need to go look." And so when I did, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I got a ton of caches to find," and it was like, "Oh wait, I've got a ton of I got a ton of caches to find." I turned it around, and I was like, "Wait, I could do a trip. I can go down to Austin and find." Remember last year I was telling you guys, it's like, "Oh, I can clean up this particular area of Austin. I can go find all these caches and like, oh man, I can kick out somebody," because I was missing, ironically, like almost all of 2001 of all things. I had most of 2000.
Yeah.
But of all things, 01 was almost blank, not completely, but 01 and 02 and 03 were like way behind. And then to finish up 2000 for me, the first loop was to go to Georgia and see my son and drag him. And he didn't really have to drag him; he wanted to go. But we went and found Lake Lanier together, and to have that moment together, the two of us, and just I don't get to see him all the time, and so it was a really special moment for me to have my son with me to go and do. It's not hard. I mean, Lake Lanier, if you're, it's pretty simple, but to get there and to take pictures and to kind of celebrate that, and it doesn't have to be Jasmer, it could be anything. But for me, it was Jasmer. I know, Jesse, you've done a lot of different challenges over the years and all that, but that's my couple. So that's my suggestion to folks is if you don't really want to get into challenges, you might be surprised of what you might find.
Well, and I can following that up. Like, obviously, I like challenges. Like, I wrote a book. It inspired so much. I wrote a book to share it with other people. Right?
Yes.
And obviously, that book is not to be popular or make money or anything else. I price it as low as I could possibly do it to get it out there to people. And I will say, kind of two parts to that. One, the reason why we wrote that book, Christy and I wrote it, is because challenges for us. So, and I've spoken about this openly before, but I'm a very ADHD kind of guy, and I'm very, I get hyperfixated on things and stuff like that.
Sure.
So over the years, it's been like, okay, now 5.5s are my things, or where it goes are my things, or Jasmer is my thing, or whatever, and I get all into it, and that's all I do, and that's bringing me joy until we move on to something else.
Sure.
And I want to share that with other people. And it's not because you win anything, like it's intrinsic, right? Like you don't win anything extrinsic. You win any trophies or anything else, but that sense of accomplishment of like this is our thing as a family we want to do now. We're excited about this, and we go and do that. Now, that could be just clearing out your 2 miles from your house. That could be finding a cache once a week or an FTF once a month, Like I remember we were doing that for a while. We wanted to get a first divine every month.
Sure.
Not that means anything to anybody else.
No.
It's just a sense of accomplishment, or like finding a cache every day for a year. All those things that we started doing those before they were even really challenges. We just did it to challenge ourselves. And then we got into challenges kind of after. And it's like the whole family got into it.
Yeah, but you kind of did that also through the moratorium. See, people don't realize.
Yes.
So many people don't even today, people are listening to us and they're like, what are you talking about? It's like, for a while there was a moratorium on challenges.
There was indeed. For over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think
kept going though.
There's challenges that are the official challenges, and there's challenges you set for yourself. Because there's plenty of things that don't fit the rules and you can't make an official challenge for it. But for you and your family may be something amazing. Yeah. It may be, I'm going to go and explore my state and go to every county in my state.
Yeah.
That it means nothing to anybody else. And that's a real challenge. There's tons of challenges for that. But or I may want to go to every county seat in my state. That's a challenge down in Texas, but it's not a challenge everywhere.
Sure.
But that sense of accomplishment from setting a goal and then doing it if you're a solo cacher or a family cacher, and accomplishing that goal as a cacher is awesome. Yeah. And I consider that part of winning as geocaching, because you set a goal and you do it. The sense of pride that you get from like, hey, I wanted to do this and I did it. And that's why that book came out. And kind of the only reason I'm bringing that book up is because the offshoot of that is there's not a single week that goes by that I don't get a message from somebody that has picked that book up and said, this is like, I've got some inspiration from this, and luckily I think it was even Christy that had the foresight to stick some trackable trackables in that book. Yeah. So I get a message every time somebody finds a trackable in there, and they're like, that's awesome. My gosh, this is fun. We're doing this or that. And I get a message from them, and they individually or their family goes, we love challenges. Now we're into it. We're going to try to do this or that as a family. And they'll send me the message saying, this is what we're into now.
Yeah.
How can you beat that? Like, I don't care if I found a way to give it away for free, which I've given away probably more for free than I've sold, right? If I could find a way to give them all for free, I would. People are sending us messages at least once a week. We get a message from people going, this is inspiring. This is what we're doing as a family. How do you put a price tag? That's winning. 100%. That's
winning.
How do you beat that, right? Like, I understand it's a small scale. We're not talking about like Penguin Publishing, right? Like the new Stephen King book that came out. We're talking about a small group, but we as a podcast and as individuals that have written books and stuff, we have inspired people to do something fun and new for their family. That's awesome. That's true. 100% winning. And now, not everybody wants to write a book, but the analog to that would be share your story. Yes. You may share a story that gets somebody to like get out and do something new that challenges their level, right? Like we talk about all levels that challenges their level, and it brings joy to their family. Who knows how long that's going to last? Like, you may never even know, right? You may never know what happens, but the chance is there that you're going to change what they do as a family. Me and my family, every time we get together, we go geocaching because it's just expected.
Yeah.
Now, it's not a power trail. We're not getting 600 lab caches in one day.
Well, but, I don't know. I don't know if they can really do that.
Yeah. But we're going to go find a cache because it's literally a family tradition now. Like when we get together, we're going to find a geocache and we're going to take a picture, whether it's a milestone or not. We're going to take a picture and we're going to enjoy that. And that has become how you made a family tradition. How do you beat that as far as winning goes, right?
Yeah.
And now, don't get me wrong. I love challenging ourselves to like 5.5s and mountain climbs and scuba and kayaking, all that stuff.
Oh,
but that really pales in comparison to like making new family traditions and stuff. Like you can't, come on. That's what other hobby? I can't name another hobby that I've ever done that's even come close to equaling what we do in geocaching.
No, you're right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, John, give us some of your final thoughts, and then close us out, and also kind of do also the shows that are upcoming, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dire Wolf asked the question, "When is the Pizza Ninja book coming out?" I got some ideas in the works, my friend. So when I do, definitely I'm going to keep you posted on to that one for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just to close stuff out, guys, I think really the conversations here is really aligned with kind of like what my thoughts are, because I think you have to find something meaningful for you. And within the game of geocaching, there's just so many different ways to play it, and it's really a community game. The community can expose you to so many different ways to play geocaching. I think, I mean, most people would say they probably start out with traditionals and then go into some other different directions onto that too. But I think especially for newer cachers, I mean, if you're an experienced cacher out there, think about how you can help those newer cachers or help potential cachers out there.
Yeah.
I know I was just at a baseball game, last night, and I had a friend who I haven't cached with a while, and I love the guy. He's such a cool guy, and it's funny. He actually grew up in Kansas, so like no joke, I think one of his first 100 caches was Mingo, believe it or not.
Oh my gosh.
Where he was just like, "Hey, I found this cache called Mingo," and
What do you
and it,
know?
I know, and it's like, man, that is amazing. But at the end of the night last night after the baseball game, it's like we got to go caching. We have not cached in so long. We got to do that. And just those friendships along the way are just like so 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 incredible. But some other quick things I just want to mention too is even for some people, I talked to people at Geo Woodstock, and it was like Team Phoenix 421, is just how much joy they get out of being a hider.
Oh yeah.
And to me, that is just such an incredible part of the game for people who are hiders, because not everybody is. There's some people that
True.
have like many thousands of finds and have never hidden a cache. But I mean, the hiders are really the ones that make
Yep.
this game awesome.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, as a finder, like if you encounter something where you're showing a hider like love, like give it a favorite point, write a great log on that one, let
Yep.
them know, because that really helps to charge their geocaching batteries and put out even more like hides and more awesome hides for that one too.
Very true. You're
But
exactly right.
just some points on here too. Tom brings up a great point on the shows coming up. So I mean, just to highlight these, because we got some really cool shows coming up,
Yeah.
is on June 3rd, we got Puzzle Talk, guys. So 9 p.m. Eastern on that, 8 p.m. Central. K-Blast, both Brian and Trey are going to be on the show to talk about the Wharf District puzzle of Geo Woodstock this year. And if people don't know, this was
Oh my
just
gosh.
such an incredibly innovative puzzle
That'll be
on
fascinating.
so many different levels. This was kind of the most talked about puzzle, the most incredible puzzle of the event. But they're going to be on the show on Puzzle Talk on Tuesday to
Yep.
talk all about it, walk people through it. And I think a lot of
Perfect.
people are probably going to be just impressed, like inspired to create some other cool puzzles like based upon this one too. So
There was a
this,
lot of buzz, John.
yes,
There was a lot of buzz about this. I mean, we would just be walking around and you would hear people talking about this crazy puzzle. It was great.
yeah,
It's an insane puzzle, by the way. Y'all have both seen it, obviously, by now. But
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough that he sent me a message. I was at work, so I couldn't get into it fully. But he goes, "Hey, you want to test beta test a puzzle real
Yeah,
quick?"
they
I'm
said
like,
they sent it
the
to
answer
you.
to that is always awesome. Of course I do.
yeah,
I started digging into it and I was like, dude, I'm at work. There's no way I can get into it. It was so awesome. I was like, this is ridiculous. That thing is,
People were,
that
yeah.
is exactly what we wanted. I say we. When John came up with this general idea,
Yep.
that is, when we talked about it, that is exactly what we hoped would happen. And it's happening. It is awesome.
yeah. And I'll tell you guys too. I mean, on the VR side, we did have another cache added to the bookmark list. Really cool VR experience on there too. So, people should check that one out too, because I think they definitely get a kick out of it.
Oh, yeah.
And one other thing too, just to talk about,
Yeah.
next week, June 8th on here, crazy Gary, Geocache Talk 9th anniversary, man, 9 years.
Yeah. I've been getting that ready. And we do have some incredible video clips. But we have 3 guests that are going to be with us next Sunday that I'm very excited to announce tonight. Hang on. We got to do something special for this right
Oh,
now.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's Let me pull up this video right. This one. No, not that one. This one right here. Let me do this video right here.
Oh, love it.
Breaking news. I have breaking news. I need to spill some beans.
Got some beans.
Yes, Jen.
Beans.
Yes.
Oh no, Gary just spilled the beans.
So we've got next Sunday, Joshua, the geocaching vlogger, is going to be on. But wait, there's more.
But there's more.
There's more. Craig, See My Shell will be on.
Wow.
Very cool.
Treasures of Our Town gentlemen will be on.
That's right.
But wait, there's bonus to that, and that is we're going to have Jeff May on. Yes.
Super cool, man.
I got to see Jeff and briefly talk to him, but so we've got Craig, Jeff, and Joshua all joining us next Sunday to celebrate. Can you imagine? Can you believe it, Jesse? 9 years.
I know. And do you know where I'm going to be checking in from?
You're going to be in Alaska? No.
No.
Oh, St. Martin.
No, not St. Martin yet. We're going to be leaving towards St. Martin. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll be, and I'm buying the package so I can try to check in.
Okay.
The plan is I will be checking in from the cruise ship for the 9th year. Yeah. So heading to, and I'm not going to get into it now, but my new Win It at Geocaching.
Yes.
That's part of it. I'm not going to get into it now because that's my new challenge for myself. That's part of it. We're going to talk about that later. But
awesome.
I should be checking in from the cruise ship. They claim that my internet will be good enough. We'll see. But I'll be checking in live from the cruise ship. So I'll be in the Atlantic Ocean, moving on, and we'll see. We'll test it out and see what happens. But I should be picking up. I'll be headed to pick up another country. We're gonna put it that way. I was
so cool.
Now. Yeah.
We'll get into it. We'll do our memory lane. I can tell people the stories a little bit about starting this right before Geo Woodstock back in 2016 for a 14er. And yeah, can you imagine, Jesse, the 14er was 9 years ago we did that.
You know, it's really hard to even, and I don't want to get us sidetracked and make it 3 hours long tonight. But
I know you're
I can tell so many stories right now. I just never did. I think when we talked about it at dinner, you're like, "Hey, I've got this idea." I didn't think that was a 9-year idea. It's only got 9 years, right? Like we're not slowing down a bit. None of us is going anywhere. It's 10 will come, probably 15 will come. Who knows, right? Like it's not going anywhere. Never did I think. I was just like, yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
It's totally like, sure, that sounds like, let's try that. I thought, I was thinking 1 off, 2 off, 3 off. I had no idea. And I'm so happy now that it turned out the way it did. But like, I really honestly had no idea what I was signing up for. I love every bit of it. Like 100%, like, just like we talked about tonight. None of these things we were talking about, many of those things would not have happened other than that meetup that one night. So
yeah,
super happy about it. Yeah.
9 years of the show. And also December 6th, we'll have our 10th anniversary for Podcast of Hope. So I know it's a long way off, but it really isn't. We're only about half a year away from our 10th year of raising money for St. Jude, and I am so thrilled, man. It's so awesome.
It's going to be cool.
Yeah, I can talk about that all night long.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Anyway, thanks. Anything else, John? You want to mention?
One other quick one just before we adjourn on here. We have a really cool challenge talk coming up on June 10th.
Absolutely.
Emily's out on the road, but Tim said it's going to be 100% awesome. He's giving me this guarantee. It's going to be a challenge discussion with the land monkeys on that one.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a really cool show on that one. So, I mean, how cool is that, man? We got awesome puzzle talk coming up on this Tuesday, with K-Blast talking about that awesome Geocache Woodstock puzzle. 9th anniversary show next weekend. And then June 10th, challenge discussion with the Land Monkey. So lots of cool shows ahead.
Gentlemen, this was fun tonight. I love reminiscing, and we have, the three of us have definitely won at geocaching, and we're hoping other people will start winning too. And hopefully we gave some ideas to folks tonight. So good deal. All right. Well, we'll see everybody again. Thanks for everyone being on tonight. Good night, everybody.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
May your finds be many, and your DNFs be few. May the terrain and difficulty both be less than 2. And whatever it is you're looking for, may it find its way to you. And may we all meet again.
Folks, we hope you've enjoyed the show tonight. Please email us your comment at geocachetalk@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The show can be found on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Radio Public, or Spotify, as well as at the Geocache Talk website. Don't forget to click that subscribe button below and ring that bell notification so that you can see and hear the show on a weekly basis. And tell your friends about the show. Get them involved with us in the chat room. And until next week, don't just talk about geocaching, go geocaching.